Hello, audience. Welcome back to the show. Today, we are talking about something the AV industry keeps feeling but rarely puts into words clearly. We are joined by Chetan Ostwal, who works closely with AV integrators across global markets. Chetan brings a perspective that sits right at the introspection of project delivery and business operations. Chetan, good to have you with us. Let us start with the one question that everyone seems to be circling right now. Is the AV market actually slowing down or something else is happening?
Thanks for the welcome. That is the right question to start with. And honestly, I would push back on the word slowing. What I am saying is not a slowdown, it is a shift in behavior. Projects are still there, pipelines are still active, demand has not gone away, but decisions are taking longer, approvals are moving through more layers, and a lot of projects are sitting in that almost approved stage for far longer than they used to. So the market is not slowing, but it is becoming cautious. And that distinction matters a great deal for how integrators should be operating right now.
Okay, interesting perspective. But what is driving that cautious behavior? Why are decisions suddenly taking so much longer to come into enforcement?
It is a combination of things happening at the same time actually. Cost pressure is real. Everything has become more expensive, so clients are scrutinizing budgets much more carefully before committing. Beyond the cost, there is also a talent and execution challenge. Even when a project is approved, delivering it smoothly is not straightforward right now. Experienced people are harder to find and harder to keep. And then there is internal alignment on the client side. Before, decisions could move fairly quickly. Now every stakeholder wants to review, analyze and validate before anything moves forward. So it is not that clients do not want to proceed, but they just want to be very certain before they do.
Okay, makes sense. But when you say projects are stuck in approval, are they actually being cancelled or are they just delayed?
I would say mostly delayed. That is the key difference, and it is important to understand. Earlier, a project could move from proposal to execution in a relatively predictable time frame, but now it looks like proposal, review, internal discussion, budget validation, more review, and then it just sits. So pipelines look healthy on paper, but conversion is slower than it has been in a long time. And that gap between what looks like it should happen and what is happening creates real pressure on integrators trying to plan capacity and maintain cash flow.
Interesting. But then, what does this actually look for AV integrators on the ground?
It actually puts pressure on them in a very specific way. They are dealing with unpredictable project timelines, fluctuating workloads, and talent shortages all the same time. One month, the team is completely overloaded. The next month, things slow down significantly. Planning capacity in that kind of environment is genuinely difficult, and the traditional response, which is to hire when work comes in, is becoming harder to justify. Hiring is expensive, it takes time, and if project gets delayed after you have committed to headcount, you are carrying fixed costs without the revenue to match. That is a structural problem, not just a planning problem.
I get your point. Is this environment exposing something broken in the traditional AV operating model or is it something else?
Yes, and I think the integrators who recognize that early are the ones who will come through this phase in a better position. The traditional model assumes consistent demand. It was built for a world where pipelines converted predictably and teams could be sized accordingly. That world is not the one integrators are operating today. What this environment actually needs is flexibility. The ability to scale capacity up when projects accelerate and scale it back when things flow without losing delivery quality in either direction. That is a fundamentally different way of thinking about how a delivery team should be structured.
Got it. So, for an integrator who is building that flexibility, what does that actually look like in practice?
It means building an extended delivery ecosystem instead of relying entirely on in house headcounts. For AV specifically, that could mean having a reliable external team handling CAD, BIM, engineering documentation, and programming. Work that needs to get done but does not necessarily need to sit inside the organization permanently. When projects ramp up, you scale the extended team. When things slow, you are not carrying that overhead. Turnaround time stay consistent, internal teams do not get overburdened, and delivery quality stays predictable. It is not outsourcing in the traditional sense, but it is a smarter way of organizing delivery capacity.
And finally, Chetan, if you had to leave AV integrators with one thought today, what would that be?
I would say the integrators who come through this phase well will not be the biggest teams. They will be the most adaptable ones. This market is not punishing people for being small, but it is punishing people for being rigid. Build the flexibility into how you deliver, and the uncertainty becomes manageable. That is the real shift this environment is asking for.
Adaptable over big makes a lot of sense. That is a very strong note to add on. Chetan, thank you for joining us today. This was genuinely a different way of looking where the AV market is right now. And thanks to a wonderful audience for your patient listening. We will see you in the next episode.